actually Garbha Samskara? Yes. What actually Garbha Samskar is? So is it something which is so ancient that we are not at all able to, will not be able to put it into our lives, or is it something people have made up? You know, just they have made up a new thing so that we can have a market for that. Is that so? We'll look into what actual Garbha Samskar is. See, Garbha Samskar is an Ayurvedic principle. It is an Ayurvedic way of having a healthy progeny. It is, in fact, it is just an Ayurvedic postnatal prenatal care. So now we know what Ayurveda is. So Ayurveda is an ancient science. Of course, Garbha Samskar is also an ancient science because it comes from root of Vedas itself. It has come out of that. It is ancient, but is it applicable to our everyday life? That is the question we have to ask now. Yes, it is totally applicable, and in fact, it is already embedded in our culture. Many of the aspects of Garbha Samskar we have already embedded in our culture. It is only that we do not associate the word Garbha Samskar with those practices. And as a whole, we are not practicing Garbha Samskar. Of course, it is very well practiced by many Vaidyas. Many who know it properly will know that it is, who have practiced Ayurvedic medicine. And many have gone through Garbha Samskar through generations. So such people will be knowing Garbha Samskar. But for a general public, let us see what Garbha Samskar is. So Garbha Samskar is a knowledge which is established in Ayurveda. So now Ayurveda is something which we know it is a medical science. So what does Ayurveda do for prenatal, postnatal care? So it is these policies, these principles laid out as Garbha Samskar, we follow. So in fact, Ayurvedic care, what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda, whenever we talk about Ayurveda, we say it's a holistic medicine, right? So holistic medicine means that we view everything from the beginning till the end as a whole. So now if you talk about pregnancy, it has to be holistic. It has to begin with before the beginning. That is, it has to begin before conception. Before the Garbha is already there. When the moment when we think that we want a child, before conception, before conceiving itself, the process begins before conception. And after conception, and later after the birth. All of this together, all the medicines, all the care we take, all of the good things we put in, all of the effort we put in comes under Garbha Samskar. And it is no wonder it is practiced well. And even to this day, if we are practicing Ayurveda, if we are treating people with Ayurveda, people are getting cured. It is very much practiced. Garbha Samskara is also practiced. It is even easier because we have many of the aspects of Garbha Samskara already in our culture. If we go into detail now, let us see in this session how we have already included things, some of the things in our culture itself. Right? So I would like to know now, if you have heard of Garbha Samskar, what have you heard? So some things I'll tell you. You might have heard music, Garbha Samskar music. Am I right? If you have heard Garbha Samskar music, have anybody? Yes, yeah, right. We have heard cassettes. We have before we have heard music, online music, right? Another aspect is we have heard about the mythological aspects. The classic example is the Abhimanyu. If we have learned Mahabharata, It's the Abhimanyu example. So that is one we have heard. But otherwise, main aspect nowadays we have yoga aspect, exercises, some of the exercises, and some of the chantings or some things like that which we find online. So there are advertisements, so we come across those things. But is that what Garbha Samskar is? Garbha Samskar is a deeper science. In fact, it's a holistic science. It's if you go through Garbha Samskar, we actually don't need anything other than that. So that deep is that Garbha Samskar. So let us have a look and understand what Garbha Samskar is. So let me share my PPT. So any one of you just unmute yourself and say if the PPT is visible. I hope the PPT is visible, right? Yeah. Okay. So what is Garbha Samskar? So Garbha Samskar is the Ayurvedic way of begetting a healthy progeny. So that we all know now. So when we want to do anything, when we want to buy any stuff or we want to acquire anything, what will we look for? The first thing we look for is something which is good. We want something good. We want to make something. We want to do something. It should be good. Our aim will be to create something good. So, if we are bringing in an entire life, so our aim will be to get the best, to produce the best, right? So that is what was the aim of creating Garbha Samskar even in ancient times. So whatever principles they had was that to aiming at good physical health, mental well-being, spiritually oriented in whatever way they wanted, socially adaptable. So all of these aspects, just like health, as you may say, health. What is health? Health is a total well-being, physical, mental, spiritual, social. All of the well-being is health. Similarly, when a baby is produced, we are targeting at the best possible result. That is what ancient philosophy has always, they have targeted that. So now, see when how deeply they have thought. So to beget this, where it should all begin. So when the mother is pregnant, she already has got the egg. She has already a fertilized egg in her. So that work is already done there. So uh, we have a seed already there. But if we want to correct something, where should the correction be? The correction should come from the mother and the father, the male and the female, which are trying to beget the child, right? So that was the policy. You can see that is how Ayurveda has seen it. The ancients have seen it in that way. In fact, you can see this philosophy of Garbha Samskar is more ancient. It is ancient than Ayurveda itself. We can get um, we can see the references in Vedas itself, in the original Vedas. So, what is Garbha and what is Samskar? What is this Garbha Samskar word mean? According to Ayurveda, each of these words have their own meaning. They have their own definition. So why is it important to know the definition? Because how deep is this knowledge? To know how deep is this knowledge? So where are we heading by talking about Garbha Samskara? So we can't just put out words like this casually. So it has a deeper meaning. See what Garbha, in fact, Garbha itself, word Garbha itself has a deeper meaning according to Ayurveda. Shukra Shonita Jiva Sanyoge to Khalu Kshigate Garbha Sanya Bhavati. So that means we are not here only the Garbha does not happen only because of the Shukra and Shonita, because of the ovum and the sperm. There is the spark of life. There is Jiva. Only then, the Garbha, only then when it goes into Kukshi, when it goes into the womb, only then it is called Sanya. That is, in fact, what a viable baby is. Right? Even in modern world, modern science, fetus is viable, a baby is viable. What does that mean? That means it has to be live. What is live? That means it has something other than just material, just cells. It has the life, it has the spark of life. Only then life comes to existence. So there is much more to it. It is not just two cells. Of course, sperm and ovum are cells, but how do they come together and how do they make a zygote? How do life comes? It is because some one more element, that is the jiva, right? So Shukra Shonita Jiva Sanyoge to Khalu Kukshigate Garbha Sanya Bhavati. Garbha is a union of all of these ovum, sperm, and jiva. So there is a very deep thought there. It is very important to note that we have we have a life inside which has to be taken care of. They are not just cells coming together. They can develop into an entire human, right? So that is what is the depth of this sentence. So what are we doing to this garbha here? We are doing a sanskara. Sanskara is again a common word. So we have the word sanskara used colloquially. Sanskar, acha hai. What does that mean? That means a process which is positive. That means some process has been done to that whatever thing. So which is positive, which is leading towards positive qualities. So we use this word exactly for good things only. We don't use it for bad things. If you can see that, even colloquially also. But the definition itself is sanskarohi gunantaradina. That means we are trying to change the guna quality. So Garbha and Samskara. Now the Garbha is getting Samskara. It is getting changed because of the things we do now, because of the process we take. Garbha Samskar. We are trying to change it to the positive way. We are trying to bring out all the good things possible. So, what do we want? What do we want for the child? We do not want the bad genes from us. We want the best genes to be going to the child. We want the best of what we have. And we want to withhold the all bad qualities. That is what we all want, right? And that is what Garbha Samskar actually aims at. So that means we are trying to bring in the change in the Garbhas. Garbha Samskara. Sanskarohi Gunantaradina towards the best qualities. So these are the things which we wanted to do, right? So what is the origin? Why are we talking about this origin? So it is important to talk about the origin because authenticity is something which we all want to know, right? So when we want to, even we want to buy something, we'll go to the shop and see what is the brand, and so we know that something is branded, something is comes from a proper source. So that means we can trust that. So similarly, when we talk about all these things, where did all that means we can trust this knowledge. So in Ayurveda, we Darshana Shastras, all they say because we can trust those knowledge. We can just because it has already been experimented, it has been written down, and Vaidyas have explored this knowledge. They have used it, and they have changed it according to the ways, according to their own experience. So that is why origin, where this knowledge comes from. Where does it come from? If we go deep into it, it actually comes from Atharva Veda. There is something called Garbha Upanishad also, where all of these how Garbha develops and what month what change happens and what are the food we have to take and how ahara vihara should be according to the growth inside the womb or what care should be given later and how pregnancy should be managed. All of these details you can find in even in Vedic period also. In Atharva Veda, there is method of conception itself, fetal development. So Ayurveda, being a branch of Atharvaveda, later developed, and many Vaidyas, Rishis, all of them have constantly, worked towards this. So that is how this vast knowledge has been developed. So when this modern medicine was not at all available, then these were very good, well in practice. So, but as the time went by, maybe this went behind and it was not practiced. But still, you can see bits and bits of this in the in our culture also. When we see texts, so to talk about authenticity, when we see texts like Ayurvedic texts, in Sharirasthana, we have these all of these written down how the baby develops in each month and what care should be given, what are the symptoms which can you can see. So these are all mentioned. According to that, these vidhis or system has been developed. So now, what does Garbha Samskar in the real sense? What the Garbha Samskar aims at? How do how do how do we practice Garbha Samskar? So for that, there are four essential factors which we take care. So Sushruta Samhita, there is a verse. So that is the core of Garbha Samskar. So not just Garbha Samskar, it is actually core of gynec practice itself in Ayurveda. So for that, of course, the main purpose of uterus is uh, pregnancy and progeny. So for Garbha Samskar, this is the core verse we talk about. Dhruvam Chaturnam Sanidhyat Garbhasyar Vidhipurvakam Rutu Kshetra Ambu Bijanam Samagyat Ankuro Yatha. So in this verse, you can say the word Ankura. So Ankura, you might recognize this. Ankur is sprout. So what is a sprout? Sprout is something which can give rise to a plant. So what do you need for a producing? What are the things which required for a sprout? So there are four things. Acharya Shishta says there are four things which come together in nature. Anywhere in nature, you take anywhere in nature, these four things have to come together for a sprout, for something to sprout out. Dhruvam Chaturna, four things. Sanidhyat Vidhipurvaka, together they have to come in a systematic way. So this is what Shishruta says. What are the four things? So this is the sprout. You can see how the plant comes out, right? So what do what do you see here? This is a beautiful way where plant comes out. So the four things you can see here. One is the land. You can see the land, the soil, how beautifully we have manured it, and how we take care of it. How does a good plant come? We have to take care of many things here. One is the soil, right? The soil has to be good, it has good manure, good quality. Till then, the seed remains dormant. If you put a seed to a very bad soil, it won't come out. So till then, the soil, when the soil, till the soil is in the proper condition, it won't come out. You can see the season. Season has to be perfect. Has to be perfect. Water has to be there. Good amount of water and other, if you manure. So nourishment has to be there. And of course, we cannot forget the quality of seed itself. Good quality seed, good plant, right? So you can see nature follows this. Anywhere in nature you go and see, this is the thing for life to grow. These are the four things life has to come out. So one thing we have to remember, that humans are part of nature. Whatever said and done, whether we have whatever age we go, whatever, we have to be a part of nature, and we are a part of nature. We are not robots. So what happens to the nature will definitely happen to us. Loka Purusha Samyata is something which Ayurveda talks of. So whatever happens to the nature will happen to us. So whatever is the rules and regulation which nature follows will be followed by the human body. So that is the let me just so that is the thing, right? So what are the four things which we look for? One is the season. So the ideal season, which refers to the fertile period in the female. Next is the season. The Ritu is itself season. So it is the fertile period of the female. So we can interpret Ritu in different ways. So one is the fertile period of the female itself. Another is the Ritu in the world, the best Ritu. Mostly like all animals, since human beings are also animal, the best is Hemanta, Shishira, and Vasanta Ritu. These are supposed to be good according to Shastra. This is the best Ritu. Age of the parents, expected parents. So you all know that how ovum is comes out from a follicle, from the ovary, and the best of the ovum will be released in the young age. That is before some 35. The best of the ovum is released after menarche. From the point of menarche, as the ovum starts coming out of the ovary, it is the younger age, younger the better. Unfortunately, that is true. Whatever we want to do in this age and time, the nature's rule is such. So it gives out the best of the ovum in the younger age. Early, not early menarche, as the adulthood begins, especially in 20s and 30s. So that is the age. And similarly, the male also, the younger, where when the puberty begins till 40, 32 to 42 is the timeline which has been selected. Similarly, the fertile period. So these are all what are the season. When we talk about season, the best time to conceive, the fertile period in the women's cycle, that is the ovulation period. So exact ovulation period, that is what we have to look for. The next is the kshetra. Kshetra is the fertile land. Just we saw how the soil is prepared. What is the way the soil is prepared? Good manure, so that where the seed can develop well. Similarly, what is here the kshetra? It is the uterus, right? The uterus should be in good condition. It should not. It should have good. In medical terms, you should have good AMH. The cycle should be right. There should not be any anomaly in the fallopian tube. The ovary should be ovulating at the proper time. So that is the land. That is where the seed is going to develop into a plant. So that means taking care of the uterus as an organ itself. So that is the second point which we have to look for. So when we are talking about Garbha Samskar, so when we take up Garbha Samskar, we are going to see that all of these factors are right. We are going to correct all of this. That is what I'm trying to say here. The next is ambu, or literally, which means water. Ambu is literally water. What is ambu here? It is the nutrition which the growing fetus will get. It is the nutrition which the mother gets, in turn goes to the fetus. If the mother is well nourished before, during, and after. See, here it is in terms of nutrition. Before conception, if the mother's body has good, nutritious food and all her tissues are well balanced, saptadhatus as we call it, they are well balanced. If she is ojasvi, tejasvi, obviously her cells are good in condition. What is ovum? It is also a cell. It is also a cell, right? So good quality ovum. So when the quality of the ovum is good, good nourished, it is going to have a good effect. During pregnancy, the food which you provide to the baby and the mother going to help the baby grow. After pregnancy, that is during puerperal time, the lactation, if the lactation has to be good, again there is nutrition. There is ambu or water. So the nutrition aspect throughout pregnancy. So when we talk here, it is not exclusively antenatal care. It is the one. This is the wonderful thing of ancient science. Always, when we take up anything, it has to be a complete. It has to be complete throughout, from the beginning to the end. And the mother's body, we take care of the mother's body, pregnant body, postpartum also, because she is the one who has to take care of the baby later also. Next, the fourth and the final and the most important factor is the bija. Bija is a seed, which we say. So here, the sperm and the ovum, both. So here, we have to have good quality of sperm, good quality of ovum. What is it? What are those? Those are also cells. Cells in they come out. What is a spermatocyte? What is a oocyte? It is a cell which is in that body. So, where does the health come from of these cells? It has to come from the male or the female itself. If the male is healthy, if the female is healthy, if her all her entire life she has led a healthy life, obviously the quality of the any other cell is going to reflect on the quality of the oocyte and ultimately quality of the ovum, quality of the spermatocytes, ultimately the quality of sperm. So here we are also targeting at these cells. So we are actually, in fact, going to the cellular level. So the knowledge is so deep, you can see we are going to the core of the things. That is why when we say that Garbha Samskar, through Garbha Samskar, we are going to try to look at the congenital anomalies. We are going to reduce the congenital anomalies. We are going to bring in the best quality. So how do we bring? What is the way we are bringing? It is through these aspects, through the bija shuddhi, what we call. That aspect is called bija shuddhi. So these four factors: Rutu, Kshetra, Ambu, and Bija. So these are the 4 factors we deal with throughout the pregnancy, before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and after pregnancy. So here you can see again how a seed needs to grow with 4 factors. Similarly, we have Ritu, Kshetra, Ambu, and Bija. The 4 factors we look at during Garbha Samskara. So when the baby is made according to Garbha Samskara? So what are the factors which are responsible for the birth or making of that fetus? So what does Shastra say? What does Ayurveda say about this? So in the text there are few things which we always think of when we look at fetus or when we look at the growth of the fetus, when we look at the baby as a whole. So how does baby come through? There are different aspects: Matruja Bhava, Pitruja Bhava, Atmaja Bhava, Sattvaja Bhava, Satnyaja, and Rasaja Bhava. All of these together contribute to the development of the baby. So here we have the soft parts come from the mother, Matruja Bhava. The harder parts come from the Pitruja Bhava, from the male aspect. These are the physical aspect. The other aspect, Atmaja Bhava, Sukha, Dukkha, Ichha, Dvesha of that child will be contributed by something over this, that is Atmaja Bhava. Sattvaja Bhava, where other aspects, the qualities of the baby, the experiences, Atmaja Bhava, the qualities of the baby itself is its own sattva. It is the manas. That is called, it is its own mind. So this is how Ayurveda describes how each of things come into being in a fetus. Satmaja Bhava is what the mother's ahara vihara, how is the lifestyle, the food and the lifestyle of the mother contributes to the Satmaja Bhava. What is Satmaja Bhava is, so when you see the mother's food liking will be more like the child's food liking, like both of them share likings. So because whatever she has had during her pregnancy, during her lifetime itself, becomes satmya to her. So that is how the baby also goes through the lifestyle choices and taste choices, because it is something called satmaja bhava. So every day if you have something, so it becomes satmya to you. You start liking things like that. So that is satmaja bhava. That's ahara vihara of the mother. Rasaja bhava, whatever good nutrition which the mother gets will contribute the nutrition. Tushti, pushti, and utsaha, the energy, the enthusiasm, all of, because what she has had as food, the rasa, what she got. So these are the things which contribute to the development of the baby. So this is the key for Garbha Samskara. So when we look at Garbha Samskara in only one thing now, either it is yoga or something, or it is the lifestyle, listening to music, or being in good condition. All of this, what we thought Garbha Samskara is, but actual Garbha Samskara has 3 main parts to it. So now we can guess, in fact, what would be the 3 main facts. Before pregnancy, that is before conception, actual conception itself. During pregnancy, that is after conception, and after the baby's birth, postnatal care. So these are in 3 extremely dedicated parts, different parts of Garbha Samskara. So most unique feature of Garbha Samskara itself is the preconceptional care. Nowadays, we also have preconceptional care in modern field also, but it is not like what we deal in Ayurveda. Ayurveda deals in a different way because Ayurvedic philosophy is about balancing dosha. So we are trying to do that in preconceptional care. Then you have antenatal care, that is during pregnancy. So in we generally, what do we do for pregnancy care? We have monthly checkups. We have iron and calcium tablet, and whatever if there is any condition, we try to tackle that. That is the antenatal care. But according to Ayurveda, we deal with all aspects. So we saw the six aspects, Matruja, Pitruja. We tried to connect to all of these things. Satmaja Bhava, Atmaja Bhava. All of this we are going to connect to in the antenatal care. Similarly, in postnatal care, we are going to target main three things: nourishment of the mother, bringing back mother to the normal lifestyle, producing milk, lactation, and taking care of the infant. So these are the three things. Acharya Shushruta, in fact, Charaka has a verse also where the care should be in three aspects. One is main is the mother's care. The next is the lactation. Next target is the lactation. The third is the infant care. So these are the things which are very important during postnatal care. So all three stages we are going to target: preconception, post-conception, and post-delivery care. So what is preconception care? So you might have heard uh, if you have gone through pregnancy, you know that the first thing is folic acid tablets. So before pregnancy, we generally advise folic acid. That's about it. Preconception care. Or if if somebody is having trouble in conception, then we'll go to try to address those issues depending upon whatever is the pathology, whether it is with male or whether it is female. With males, it might be the sperm count, it might be the motility. With females, it might be some uterine condition, some fallopian conditions in blockage in fallopian tube, or PCOD regarding ovaries. So, whatever is the difficulty, we are going to target. This is what is generally only when we have problem, we will have preconception care. But Ayurveda is a system where in Garbha Samskara, we make sure that you have to come at least 3 to 6 months prior to conception, before planning. Because when we say that we want a good ovum and good sperm, we will have to make sure that there is a healthy male and a healthy female. So what is health according to Ayurveda? It is balanced doshas. Three doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, have been balanced. So if we how do we balance it? It is generally through Panchakarma therapy. So when there is excessive Pitta, we give Virechana. For excessive Kapha, we give Pamana. If excessive Vata, we go for Basti. These are the Panchakarma therapies we have. And depending upon what is required, otherwise, with if there is some condition with uterus, there are many treatment as it you can see Uttarabasti, Pichudharana, Dhavana, different therapies go to Ayurveda. We target the pathology, we get rid of it, go through Panchakarma, make the body balanced doshas, then go for diet. The patya to be followed for some time. Through Panchakarma, patya is compulsory. There is no need to say that because Panchakarma Patya is included. After Panchakarma, the diet is such that for the male, the diet is such that it increases the sperm count. For female, it is for ovulation. So that is the diet which is followed. And once this target is reached, then the conception is allowed. So then exact time is calculated with ovulation. This is done. So this is the preconception care, which is very unique for Ayurveda. So it is not just now; it has been included through ages. So that is how Garbha Samskara is unique from other systems. So and now the second part, that is during pregnancy. So that would be antenatal care, what we talk about. Here you can see how tetanus is given in the end, injection, how you can follow yoga, how you can take um, antenatal medications. So these are the routine modern therapy we take. So what Ayurveda says. So according to Ayurveda, we have each month, as the progress of pregnancy happens, each month different medications, different herbs, and change in the diet. The make change in the lifestyle also makes making change in the diet also. So why so? Because during pregnancy the digestion is difficult. Body is going through humongous change. So different herbs, different ways to manage these things. So as even Charaka and Shishtariya all say about each month what develops. Panchame Buddhi. Uh, every month, they say every month, every organ, when the development happens, according to that, they suggest herbs. If you go through the text, there are different herbs. So which we use something called Masanumasika therapy. So every month we have separate herbs for that, and lifestyle also modification for that. So growth and nourishment of the fetus has to be taken care. So in the end, in the ninth month, the preparation for the delivery also is told. So there are two things which are told. That is, one is the pichudarana. Pichudarana is a medicated swab which is kept in the vagina. So that is for cleansing and that is for um, good labor. The next is the Basti treatment, medicated enema, which is done to so that you will not get any false labor pain. So these are two things which are suggested. So that is about the antenatal care. Next is the post delivery care. So this is something which you can see culturally embedded in our everyday life. So the entire post-delivery care comes under something called Sutika Paricharya. Sutika is postpartum women. So Sutika Paricharya is where the care given to the delivered mother. So how she should be taken care of. So you have to build something called Sutika Gar. So you can say that these days we go for building of a nursery. Before the baby comes, we take care that the crib is there and baby's articles are there, the diapers are there, the powders and whatever is required is already there. So that is how in now we have made our lives. But if you see Garbha Samskar, if you go for how ancients have talked about it, how it was, even if you go a little while before, there would be a different room for uh, postpartum period. They would make it, which which will take care of the baby and the mother. It was not just the baby; the mother was also given equal importance. The mother's care, how it should be, not very airy, not it should be well ventilated yet not cold, away from very bright light also. So all of this care, why? Because the both mother and the child has to be there together in that for 40 days. That's what they said, because the care was given there, where massage could be done, where herbal bath can be done, dhupan can be done. So exclusive. So you can see the difference, how things have changed from being holistic to individualistic. It is now when we bring the baby, you mean the baby is a different individual and the mother is a different individual. All the care, only the baby's care is, that is not true. If you see, both of them are a unit. They nourish each other. Baby is nourished by the mother, and the mother needs nourishment. Baby needs nourishment. They both need that care for some amount of time till they can be individually take their lives on. So that is why you can see Sutigagar was built where Sutika Paricharya was done. So now you can see many of these can be done, and according to Ayurveda, we can use different oils like Chandan Banalakshadi Tela or a simple til oil, and many of the oils can be used. And for the postpartum period, commonly we use Saubhagya Shunti, ginger with ghee. Why so? Good nutrition, good only comes with good digestion. So all of these were included, and we can include this in Garbha Samskar also. So this is the last part of Garbha Samskar. So you have three aspects, three complete total aspects: preconception, pregnancy care, and post delivery care. So all of these are included under Garbha Samskar. So this was about Garbha Samskar in Ayurvedic way. So now in this process, in this entire process, we can include other cares like exercise. We can include chanting during pregnancy. All of this will add to the Atmaja Bhava, Satmaja Bhava developing. But the core of Garbha Samskar is preconceptional care itself. You can see Ayurvedic Garbha Samskar and the post-conception care, of course. So where the both mother and child are taken care of.